Hello Aquarius, welcome to your Tarotscope for May. It's Majori here from the Priestess. So we're just going to get into the main energy happening for you this month. And I have a mix of oracle decks, I have tarot, I have astrology. So we're going to shake it up and get into it. All right, so main energy. Mercury has gone into retrograde and Jupiter is in Aries, so we've had some transits recently. So let's kind of see what is on the horizon for you. Okay, so what I'm pulling here is the Ace of Swords reversed, and then I have Protect. And this is really interesting with this retrograde being in Gemini, being in your, sister sign, and then it's going to dip into Taurus on May 22nd. So the energy is going to definitely change. The conversation is going to be changing throughout the retrograde. And the Ace of Swords is about words, conversations, your mental thoughts, and if there's like drama happening with this retrograde, just be very aware about the conversations that are happening around you and what conversations you're participating in. Also thinking about communication, like if there's things going on, if emails, technology, breaking down, because we also have to be mindful of that with the retrograde period. So it is like protect your peace at all costs, but protect your voice as well. And really making sure your throat chakra isn't being overactive. It's like if you don't need to be in a conversation, it doesn't mean you have to go into that conversation. If you don't want to hang out with certain friendships or participate in certain like group activities, you don't have to do that at this time, because sometimes the more energy that's around us, it can be more confusing, it can be more detrimental, it can be more dramatic, and it can flare up and cause a lot of havoc and unnecessary conflict during Mercury retrograde. So protect your peace at all costs, protect your voice, making sure you speak up at the right times. And when you don't have the words to say, the language isn't coming to you, it doesn't mean you have to communicate at this time. If you feel like you need a mental break from certain situations, communicate that and just be like, hey, I don't feel up to doing this social thing, or I feel like at this time I can no longer continue this friendship, or I need a break from this conversation, or whatever it is. Also, you might feel kind of short-tempered and you might be lashing out based off of feeling like you're in overdrive, like exhausted conversationally, or just like there's so many people and so much energy happening. Especially once Gemini season starts on May 20th, you might feel like this active, impulsive, anxiety-driven energy. Protect yourself if you don't want to do something, if it's causing you stress, if it's causing you to feel like an anxiety attack is coming on, or just anxious energy. You don't need to participate. You can have the power in your hands and be like, no, I don't want to do this, and move forward in that way. All right, so I'm going to pull some other cards here. Doing my job for me. Okay, so this is what I have. I have two major players coming in. I have the Hangman upright, and then I have the Magician upright, and I have the Seven of Swords reversed. So this really is, with the Hangman, just contemplating, thinking, suspending yourself from the drama, putting yourself out of harm's way. You don't have to get involved into everything that is wanting your attention. If like there's a party you don't want to go, you don't have to go. If there's like all these social obligations, you don't want to do them, you don't want to do them. Like if you don't feel right, it doesn't mean you have to say yes. It's a time to say no. So you have to protect your energy, protect your mental health at this time, protect yourself in terms of conversations. Like if there is animosity, if there is arguments happening, protect yourself, stand up for yourself. But it's also taking a moment to just get out of the fray and think before you act. And maybe you do need to take the mature step and be like, you know what, I need to remove myself from this dialogue. I need to remove myself from this social group or these commitments, whatever it is. You need to suspend yourself and give yourself some space so that when you decide to come back, if you decide to, you can come, better and more connected, and you have had a time to think about things before just jumping and addressing stuff. Because a lot of times people do not think before they talk. They just like are in the energy, in the emotions, in the moment. And for you, you have the maturity to be like, you know what, I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to reflect before I speak to something, so you can come correct. The Magician. The Magician is, you know, as you take this time to call back your own energy, you know, what are you going to do with this time that you are putting towards yourself and away from other people? The Magician is Mercury. So this Mercury retrograde is helping you realize your own truth, helping you tap into your own inner magic away from the distraction of other people, and setting time aside for yourself, setting time aside for your gifts this retrograde. Instead of like putting your energy externally out there, you need to call it in and internally work on things that have maybe been on your mind, have been affecting your mental health, that you need to address. And you've been protecting a lot of these thoughts and ideas and feelings for so long, and you need to now address them, contemplate them. That's the work of Mercury retrograde. It brings back into view things that we left behind or we compartmentalized. Maybe it's time to think about going to therapy, talking to a therapist, and working through some of these blocks that are harming you and causing your magic to feel like it's depleted and it can't flourish. Now we have the Seven of Wands reversed here, which is just another nod to not putting energy and emphasis towards the battle at this time. It's like you need to walk away. It doesn't mean that you lost. Sometimes it's like you actually are the winner by walking away and stop fighting for something or stop fighting with someone. It's just like for you, you have better things to do. This Mercury retrograde is calling you in a different light. It wants you to work internally instead of externally, and it's being connected with this through the Hanged Man. So it's not a time to fight. It's not a time for battle. Maybe once Mars moves into Aries and Mercury retrograde is finished on June 4th, then you will feel like you're able to speak to things and your fighting warrior power will come through. But as of right now, it's not a time of action. It's a time of internalization and just moving through the energy, the thoughts, the ideas, the goals that are coming to you through this moment of suspension and reflection. Okay, so I'm just pulling some oracle cards here, and then we are going to see how they connect. Okay, so this is what I'm pulling here. So I have here, the war has reached a critical moment between Atlantis and Mu. I have so be it, the flip of a coin. And then I have hiding in plain sight. So we're going to start here with the Hangman because it's just reached a critical point. All the energy, all the drama, everything that's going your way. It's just reached a critical point where you're like, you know what? Hands off. I'm done. I'm walking away. I don't really care what you think, but you just don't want to be involved. And it's just like it's reached a critical point where you have to just go into a moment of self-preservation. You can't continue focusing on what these people think. What are these people doing? How is this going to go? It's like you're done. Like it's over with. You can't work on it or work through it anymore. And that is what the Magician is calling here with the flip of the coin, with this Mercury retrograde energy. It's like, so be it, so it is. It's just a toss-up at this point. And that's literally how Mercury retrograde works. It is just a toss-up. It's just tossing up energy and seeing what sticks to the wall. And, you know, what doesn't stick sometimes are the lessons that we need to work through at this time. And that is what the so be it energy is. But it's a portal here with it being 11. So it's like you got to go through a new portal. And this new portal is the Magician, is really embracing this Mercury retrograde energy and using it for the best of your advantage. And hiding in plain sight here, it's like thinking about what conflict is hiding in plain sight. And sometimes we don't really see conflict right away. Sometimes it's not as dramatic, or the reveal isn't as potent as we would expect. It's not like the movies sometimes. It can be slow building, which is why you have to be careful at this time. And it's good that you're retreating. It's good that you're having a hangman moment, a yellow red light moment in your life to think about things before you want to speak to them, because there's a lot hiding in plain sight that you don't really know about. A lot of people have ulterior motives to you know, bring you down or to speak against you. And that's why you have to protect yourself at all cost. This is a protection mechanism. You're in protection mode right now because you've realized that a lot of sinister energy or just negative energy or people with ill intentions who disguise themselves as your friend, disguise themselves as an ally, whatever it is, actually are enemies that are hiding in plain sight. And that's how it works. We have literally devils on earth hiding in plain sight. And some of them aren't even hiding, but, you know, they try to tell us that they're not the devil when they really are, you know? So it's just like thinking about trickster energy, thinking about, you know, what you want to put your attention towards and what you don't. And you've realized that a lot of this energy that was hiding in plain sight, you no longer want to put your time and attention towards, and you're going to move that towards this magician, hanged man energy. Okay, so now here I am pulling some astrology cards. Okay. And I have some timing cards as well. That's not what I want. There you go. Okay, so what I'm pulling here is Venus in adverse. I'm pulling spring for timing. And then I have Uranus, your ruling planet. So we're going to start with Uranus here because Uranus is in Taurus. And it's been in Taurus since 2018. And Uranus is unpredictable energy. It causes a lot of instability and it shakes things up, but it shakes things up so you can have a better sense of agency, a better sense of self-sufficiency in your life. So it's like you have to let go of the foundation, the establishment, the status quo, the conformity in order to embrace your truth. And that is what you need to do in this life, Aquarius. So, you know, this energy is actually squaring you, and it is kind of teaching you that a lot of these events that are happening in your life that are hiding in plain sight are unpredictable. You're never going to be able to have the same sense of control that you once had. And you never, you know, had control over anything. It was all an illusion. And your ruling planet is disrupting this illusion and showing you that the only one that you can really protect and look out for is yourself. That is like what you have control over. You don't have your control over other people and their alternative motives because they're also looking out for themselves. And so we have here Venus in reverse because that realization of disharmony that is lying in the mist and hiding in plain sight in your life is going to be disrupted. And a lot of it you probably were feeling since the springtime. You were probably getting intuitive hunches of, wow, this person I can't trust, or this situation doesn't seem right, or I don't know if I want to continue in this group or continue doing these things. You've been getting this information, you've been getting the downloads, and there is a little bit of dissatisfaction and disheartedness that comes through that realization of Venus, through the realization that this job isn't what you thought it was, or you know, you thought you were going to get this type of raise or promotion and it didn't happen, or you know, this relationship you had betted so highly on actually isn't compatible. And a lot of this it's going to be revealed to you. A lot of the truths and the hidden truths are going to be revealed to you during this retrograde period if it hasn't already. It's already been working on you with this energy, but it's really going to come through in the next couple weeks. So just be aware, but it doesn't mean you have to put action towards it. At least let the information come, and then you can decide how you want to proceed and how you want to move forward with the insights that you have been given through Mercury. And we're ending here with the Queen of Pentacles upright. And I think this is a good energy, especially when it comes to Taurus. And what Uranus is doing is really giving you this sense of self-sufficiency, is really pushing you to move away from convention, move away from conformity. Because Saturn is your co-ruler. So you do have this energy of like you want to conform, but then you're the alien. So it's like you can only blend in for so long into human society before you get called out. So it's just like you might as well find spaces, people, and opportunities that mirror you and allow you to be your unique self instead of trying to continuously push down and suppress your truth to fit in with people who are just average and basic. Like that's not you. So the Queen of Pentacles is like you need to look for opportunities that will help you grow on a physical level, help you grow with your skills, your money, your motivations, and for longevity. You also have to make sure that it's not just all work and there is some play in there. Like, you are a workaholic, so you need to find a way to enjoy your life. You need to find a way to build things on your own terms and allow other people to come in. You don't have to be so closed off with this energy. It's like you can build intentionally with people, but if these people start having drama or they're not living up to your expectations, then you do have to think about putting some boundaries against that energy to protect yourself. But the Queen of Pentacles is saying that, you know, but you do have a lot of power, and things you can control is what will be beneficial to you. Things you can't control are conversations, people, and situations, but you can control your tangible physical environment. So focus on that this Taurus season, and then especially once Mercury moves into Taurus on the 22nd of this month, you might see a change in money. You might see a change in your career and ambitions, and that's because Uranus is still in Taurus. So it could be for better or for worse, but just be on the lookout for some change happening in that area as well. So that is the reading, Aquarius. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. And if you want a personal reading with me, I am open for May and June. And I also have a bunch of new astrology services on my site, so definitely check that out. And I will see you next month. Bye.